morning and welcome to Thursday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from the Bahamas. Bahamas Prime Minister Philip Davis announced in the House of Assembly on Monday that Police Commissioner Clayton Fernander has resigned, following a federal indictment in New York that implicated multiple law enforcement officers in drug trafficking. The indictment unsealed last week named 13 individuals, including 11 Bahamians and 2 Colombians, alleging that 3 members of Bahamian law enforcement, including 2 police officers, used their official positions to assist Colombian and Bahamian drug dealers in smuggling narcotics into the United States. While emphasizing that Commissioner Fernander served with distinction and is not personally implicated in any wrongdoing, Davis stated that the Royal Bahamas Police Force needs to change. The Prime Minister indicated he has already identified a qualified replacement for the position, though he did not disclose the name of the potential new commissioner. More news from the Bahamas. The Bahamas legislature was forced to suspend its session on Wednesday after a heated debate about a police corruption scandal escalated, with one opposition lawmaker grabbing the symbolic parliamentary mace and throwing it out the window. Parliament member Cartwright, frustrated after Speaker Patricia did not let him speak, was seen rushing up where she was seated, grabbing the parliamentary mace, a heavy ceremonial staff, of the bench, and then tossing it out the nearby window. "Get him," Patricia yelled, with the incident recorded on a government broadcast. He, alongside several ally lawmakers, were forced out of the building by police. The move harks back to 1965, when the leader of the opposition threw the mace out of a window in a push for political change, an event that became known as Black Tuesday. It comes after U.S. federal prosecutors charged several high-ranking Bahamian police officials with facilitating the flow of cocaine in the U.S. in exchange for bribes. Outside Parliament, dozens of protesters gathered, shouting, "Police are criminals." We conclude with news from Cuba. Cuba said it was generating only enough electricity to cover about 1/6 of peak demand late Wednesday, hours after its national grid collapsed, leaving millions without power. The National Electric Union, UNE, said it was producing 533 megawatts of electricity by evening, still just a fraction of typical dinnertime demand of between 3,000 and 3,200 megawatts, leaving a majority of Cubans in the dark as night fell across the Caribbean island. Earlier, the communist-run government said it would prioritize returning power to hospitals and water pumping facilities. Schools and non-essential government services were closed until further notice. This year, Cuba's grid fell into near total disarray, stressed by fuel shortages, natural disaster, and economic crisis. Hours-long rolling blackouts and severe shortages of food, medicine, and water have made life increasingly unbearable for many Cubans, who in recent years have fled the island in record-breaking numbers. Cuba blames the crisis on U.S. sanctions, which complicate financial transactions and the purchase of fuel. I am KERESE Gonzalez. Thank you for watching.